What it do, y'all? Just another battle blogger, aka that boy Rose, man. What we doing? Big K versus Jada Nightwing, man. Let's get into the usual. Let's talk about my thoughts about it, man. Let's get it. Ooh. All right, let's go. Alright, so before the battle, when it started, I actually thought this was kind of weird because, Jada Nightwing, he on the URL contract and stuff like that, and him battling a big name like Big K, that was very interesting and intrigued. But I was excited to see this battle, don't get me wrong, because I feel like Jay needed a battle like this to prove if he can hang with the vets, because he ain't had a good showing with Av. He choked and stuff like that. So I feel like this was another chance of him getting at another vet. So I was excited to see this battle. I had him losing. I had Big K winning this battle 2-1. Don't get me wrong. So yeah, going into the battle though. So Jada Nightwing goes first. Man, I'm not gonna lie, Jada Nightwing style is fire. A lot of people, well, I don't know. I don't talk to a lot of people when it goes to battle rap lyrics, but when it comes into group chats and stuff like that, a lot of people just dislike his style. But I don't know. I fucks with it. But going into it, Jada Nightwing's first. It was good. It was good. Don't get me wrong. It was good. He had some good shit in there. He was really playing off the dog, the name of Big K being the dog and shit. He was really playing that the dog shit. He was like the slap the dog shit out you. Like he had some shit. See how far he can fetch. He also had like a Circle K bar in there that was pretty. It was pretty fire. Yeah, that's all I could really remember. It was a good first. It was just nothing memorable, but it was a good first. Actually, nah, don't get me wrong. This was memorable before he even started. This shit was hilarious.
Jada Nightwing, it's on you, my boy.
30-second work.
Watch your mouth.
That what you just love, battle rap. Anyway, going into Big K's first. All right, Big K's first. It was great. He started off kind of like vetting him and shit like that. His with the start off, that shit was kind of fire. Then he also had this Big Show line that was fucking crazy.
Welcome to the Big Show. Try to hold your composure. Should I go for the throat or use the AR to totally fold you? You whack. Ain't even catch that though, what I told you. Welcome to the Big Show. Choke slam or one strap over the shoulder. It can't.
So yeah, after that, he really turned up and he kind of like touched all bases in this round. Like he would say, talk about my past while I'm still making history. You got URL fans, I got Big K supporters, and then he was really back to back with the punches and shit. He had the handle on the glass like a Pyrex. The tape recorder line, like he had a lot of fucking crazy shit in there. And then to top it off with the but the round, he had jokes too, Pete.
Then throw the hammer in the stash of the 5X after I whip up and put the handle on the glass like a Pyrex. I'm direct, knowing he a sucker. You big ass spam eating Samoan motherfucker. True imposter. You is not a Ruga Popper. Your first words was Ooga Chaka. Ooga Chaka. Boy, we could do it any.
Yeah, so he had that. That shit was hilarious, and then he ended the round with this crazy Darkwing Duck. If you know that cartoon shit, the trenches over Bill is looking Darkwing Duck. That shit was fucking stupid. So with all that being said, I had Big K clearly taking this first round, clear as day. But going into the second, all right. So going into the second, Jada Nightwing. he was decent. He was pretty good. He had like some fire. He had a fire atomic dog bar. Some Ratatouille scheme. Like he was connecting like Big K when he was exposing Adi Boom to be a rat. He like connected it to a scheme. It was pretty cool. It was pretty decent. He also had an angle about like he was basically like trying to flip like how you saying like you were paving the wave or some shit like that, and like but we're actually doing it, some shit like that. It just didn't hit like that. Jada Nightwing second, it was cool for what it is, but it was just not a lot to remember. It was just cool. Going into Big K second. Alright, so going into Big K second, he started off fire. He had a freezer burn bar. That shit was pretty fire. I've been like cold for so long. I'm starting to get freezer burn. Shit was fire. And then Big K after that straight up went into an angle attacking the URL. Shit was crazy. It was very direct and it was pretty fire. Like it pretty much counteract also what Jay had in his second too. It was pretty fucking fire if you ask me. That shit was pretty crazy. And he was making fun of him, talking about like you gave your social security, you gave your social to a guy named P. That shit was funny. But yeah, that shit was crazy. But yeah, going into the third now. So going into the third, Jada Nightwing. He did a race angle. He did a race angle about him being white and stuff like that. It wasn't corny or anything. It was creative. I just didn't like it. It is what it is. But you know what I'm saying. It was just it was just yeah, I just didn't like it. I just didn't like the race angle that he tried to do, and then at the end talking about it was like black privilege in the at the end. So yeah, it was just the round wasn't just that much. It wasn't that much to remember. You feel me? He just didn't have a lot to remember. But this is about to sound crazy because what I'm about to say about Big K's round is about to sounds like anyway. Going into Big K's third. He kept that same energy. Was fire out the gate, back-to-back punches, had some shit, if I watch you bleed out, do a make it live stream or some shit like that. And then he also did a race angle and stuff like that. But this one, I actually like the race that he played into him being Polynesian, you know, being from Hawaiian and shit like this. This shit was fire. This shit was fire. Like he started off like with this fire bar with with a Poly One cracker shit like that. That shit was crazy.
This Polynesian sauced. I'm balling up the rapper. He finally spread his wings. Now the Poly want a cracker. Who knew this?
Yeah, so that shit was crazy. And then after that, he went into a race. He went into an angle basically, into the race angle basically, how Americans basically be evading Hawaii, not evading, but be vacating Hawaii, you know, and shit. You know how we took over their shit and vacating and shit like that. This shit was hilarious. It was creative. I don't know that. I guess that was the difference between the different race angles and stuff like that. One wasn't that creative and stuff. One wasn't that creative, and the other one was. I really fucked with the race angle. This shit was kind of funny. This shit was hilarious.
We have to get some things straight right off the top. I'm a vacate to Hawaii whether you motherfuckers like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I'm sick of watching guys cry on their Twitter and their Wi-Fi. You just better focus on fixing me a Mai Tai without giving me the side eye. You know what I'm saying? Could be. I stole your land and told you spam was a delicacy. Aloha, mahalo, how's it? Eat a dick, bud. How's it feel I flood your island by the thousands when we in love? Gentrified, overpriced houses for the big plugs. The biggest warrior in your tribe is just a bouncer in a strip club.
So yeah, before I tell you who won the battle, what we doing with Big K, man? He 30 J Mills did good with Jada Nightwing. You know, kind of shaky with Reed, but hey, Max out 3, A Ward versus Big K. Hey, set it up. Hey, ARP, what up, man? Set it up. But yeah, anyway, but back to the battle. Who I thought won this battle, man, it's plain and simple, bro. Big K says it the best.
Why don't you eat shit, nerd? Fuck who thought you might have win. Another 30 sack of work. The dog strikes again. Get him.
Alright, so with that being said, it's just another battle blogger, aka That Boy Rose. I'm gonna catch y'all on another video pretty soon. I'll see y'all then. Peace.